What is up, everybody? Jay Nell here with my UFC 227 recap video. It happened last night. I hope you saw it from Las Vegas. It was a good event with good fights. Again, I hope you saw it. Got 1 for 4. 1 out of 5. Horrible night for me. Although, I believe I should have got 2 out of 5. But we'll talk about that later. Let's get into it. First pick, I got this pick, the only pick I got. I chose Thiago Santos to beat Kevin Holland, and he did. Unanimous decision. I totally agree. He put kind of a beating on Kevin Holland, who's extremely durable. 25 years old. This was his debut. He took the fight on short notice against a way higher ranked opponent. He's not ranked at all for his fight to get into the UFC, and I think he did that. This is a unique character. He went for a flying omoplata, and again, very durable. Was talking throughout the fight. He's a character, and I'm anxious to see how he'll do against appropriate competition. But who would you like to see for Thiago Santos? He wants someone ranked above him. Next up, I did not get this pick. I chose Polyana Viana to beat JJ Aldrich. She did not. There was in the beginning, this was a closer fight. She got her down at one point and looked like she was mounting some offense with her jiu-jitsu, where she's more dominant. On the feet, though, JJ was able to figure out her awkward striking, and then she just simply took it and ran. She was able to dominate her on the feet, and even on the ground. When Vienna got her down, and later on in the fight, she really couldn't do anything. So she just really wore her down as this fight went on, and clearly won. Unanimous decision. I completely agree. Who would you like to see JJ Aldrich fight next? Next up, I didn't get this pick either. Boy, did not get it. I chose Cub Swanson to beat Renato Moicano, and he did not. When I saw the weigh-ins and I saw how much bigger Renato was, I got nervous, and I should have changed the pick. This ended in the first round. Feeling each other out for a little bit. Renato landed a jab, hard jab, which knocks Cub on his butt, gets on him, ground and pound until Cub gives up his back, locks in a rear naked choke, tap, tap, winner. Very impressive. He is huge for the division. He is well-rounded. I kind of got nervous with his last victory against Calvin. I thought maybe Cody should have went to Calvin, but maybe those are just growing pains and he's working out the chinks in his armor. I do think he is one to watch. So who do you think is next for Renato Moicano? Now, co-main event, I did not get this pick. And new UFC flyweight champion, Mr. Henry Cejudo. He finally defeated the long-standing first flyweight and only champion until now, Mr. Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson. Split decision in favor of Henry Cejudo, and I do not agree. Let's get into it. First up, I think everybody believes that the first and third round go to Demetrious and the second and fourth go to Henry. So let's go ahead and talk about that real quick. The first and the third, Demetrious jumped on that leg quick. Devastating kicks to the leg and kicks to the body quick. He started buckling that leg very early on in this fight, bruising up the leg very early on in this fight. He simply outscored him in every single round, but especially the first and the third. So I think everybody's pretty much agreed on that. Let's talk about the second and fourth. First, the fourth. The fourth is one that I completely agree with everyone, that Henry Cejudo won. That's where he, I believe, landed 5 takedowns or something like that. DC corrected us. Just because you don't secure the position doesn't mean you don't land the takedown. So I believe 3 of them were where he got the takedown, but Demetrious was able to roll out of it. And then he got the one, of course, where he secured the position and held Demetrious down for about 2 minutes and 10 seconds, something like that. So also he held him up some time against the cage standing. So with all of that octagon control and position control, you definitely give that fourth round to Henry Cejudo. No damage done, because Henry Cejudo mounted very little offense when he had him down. All he could do was hold him down. So almost no offense from Henry Cejudo in that fourth round when he was holding him down. Almost no offense. Just be clear on that. Fourth round, Cejudo. Let's talk about the second. The second round, Henry got him down at the minute and about 13-second mark. That's it. Not halfway through, not mostly. About a fifth of the round in that second round is when he actually took him down. And when he took him down, he mounted again no offense. Barely threw a shot, let alone doing damage. He barely threw a shot. No submission attempts. Nothing. All he did was simply hold him down. That's all he could do. So no offense. And the beginning 3 minutes and 40 some odd seconds of that round, he actually threw more punches in that part of the round than he did when he got him down. Landed more in that part than he did when he got him down. But in those beginning 3 minutes and 40 some odd seconds, Demetrious outscored him, initiated more contact, more of the exchanges. And again, really started to wear and tear on that leg in the second round. You started to see the bruising in that second round. You started to see the leg buckling in that second round. He did more damage in that second round. Because when Henry took him down with a minute and 13 seconds left, there was no offense. Couldn't even get to the damage. So you can make a case that Demetrious won round 2. But I'm going to go ahead and give y'all that. So 2-2 going into round 5. Round 5, very competitive. Round 5, no takedowns. Round 5, Demetrious starts off again, chopping down that lead leg, initiating contact, outscoring him. The more devastating blows to the legs. Again, Henry Cejudo landed shots to the face, shots that stopped Demetrious' momentum, shots that mattered throughout this entire fight. He did land shots to the face throughout this entire fight. Let me make that clear. But again, Demetrious landed over 20 more significant shots. And who's to say that a hard shot to the face takes more out of an opponent than a shot that buckles a leg? None of us are in their heads to be able to tell that. All we know is what we see. And the biggest reaction actually came in that 5th round, later in that 5th round, with the kick to the body from Demetrious, where Henry dropped his hands, smiled, and said, "Come on," which we all know, and Joe Rogan said real time, when a fighter reacts that largely, it means you hurt him. So the biggest reaction, sonically, the loudest shot we heard actually came from Demetrious to Henry's body in that 5th round. Not to mention outscoring him. Not to mention buckling the legs. Yes, Henry, and towards the end, Henry finished strong in those last like 10, 12 seconds where they both kind of went at him. Demetrious went for like a head kick and failed, so it kind of looked odd, but neither one of them really landed too much in them last seconds. But I believe Demetrious won round 5-2. So for me, 1-3-5 Demetrious, and you can make the case for round 2. You can't make the case for round 4, Henry winning by 2 shots when there's no damage done. And when there's no offense. So you can't win the 4th round by 2. 3-2 Demetrious. Now, let's talk about all the hypocrisy that I have seen so far on all the MMA blogs from all y'all folks trying to justify this win. First off, so Lane and Praying is cool now, right? We're all a fan of Lane and Praying. GSP's your new favorite fighter, right? Lane and Praying is totally cool. I've been consistent. With the Lane and Praying, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but if you do it for majority of the fight, you hold the dominant position for majority of the fight, you win. The case Ferguson and Danny Castillo held him down for majority of the fight while taking shots and elbows and getting bloodied up. That's why Ferguson won the fight off of his back. Henry mounted no offense. Henry only held octagon control for 4 minutes and 16 seconds. That's not even a fifth of a 25-minute fight. But let's give him a fifth. So he controlled Demetrious for a fifth of the fight. He laid and prayed for a fifth of the fight. And that's a win? Okay. Miss me with that. Octagon control. Let's talk about that. For me, octagon control, because we don't know what the judges think, but for me, octagon control is holding center of the octagon, pushing the pace by moving forward and initiating contact. Henry held the octagon, the center of the octagon. He was walking forward, but he was throwing no shots, especially in that 5th round. In the 5th round, there were several moments. Listen, go back and listen. You can hear Henry's corner screaming at him to fight, punch, fight, because he's walking forward and not punching. He's walking forward and not doing any offense in the 5th round, as well as throughout the rest of the round. So how can you say he controlled the octagon when Demetrious Johnson initiated majority of the exchanges? And that's where I agree with Demetrious when he says he doesn't think that the judges know how to score leg kicks. Not only is he talking about ratio as far as 1-1, 2-1, he's also talking about if I kick my opponent in the leg and he reacts with a punch, that punch is a counter shot, a counter strike. It is a reaction to my leg kick, making me the one who initiated the exchange. So on the feet, which the fight mostly took place on the feet, Demetrious Johnson actually initiated majority of the physical exchanges, on top of winning them by points, on top of landing more significant shots. Okay. Next. The significance of the shots, or excuse me, damage done. What happened to all you people who used to say the person who does the most damage wins the fight? Dana White always says this, the person who does the most damage wins the fight. Well, Demetrious did the most damage for more of the rounds. Round 1, more damage. Round 2 is where you really start to see the damage on the legs. Round 3, more damage. Round 4, no offense from Henry Cejudo, but I'll give you that one. Round 5, same thing. Most devastating shot to the body, as well as continue to buckle the leg. And let's not act like Demetrious landed no shots to the face. He did. And again, not to say that Henry didn't land any shots standing. He didn't disrupt his movement standing. He did. Demetrious just did it more often. He did it more for more of the rounds. More damage throughout, more damage for more of the rounds. But all of a sudden, it's about laying and praying for 4 minutes and 16 seconds. For those of you who say he did do more damage, he broke Demetrious' foot, miss me with that. Silva, Chris Weidman can say he has a claim to saying he broke Anderson Silva's foot because turning your knee while you're checking the kick, turning your knee into the shin is an actual skill. It's a tool. You drill it, you learn it, you do it. Cejudo's corner throughout the in-between rounds was pleading with him to check the kicks, was telling him to check the kicks, so Henry wasn't even checking the kicks, let alone doing something deliberately to break his foot. Demetrious broke his own foot more than Henry broke it. Demetrious broke his foot while chopping down Henry Cejudo's leg. Henry didn't break the foot. Also, those you're saying you can't see the damage on Demetrious because he's black, save the Luke Cage iron black skin argument, please, for yourself. CC John Jones Gustafson. CC DJ John Dotson, the first one. CC DJ Joseph Benavidez, the second one. Black people show damage. We're not superheroes. We're not Luke Cage. Okay. So, let me be clear. I am not saying DJ should have kept his belt because this was a close fight and the close fights go to the champ. I'm not saying this was a toss-up that could have gone either way. I am saying that DJ landed over 40 more shots, landed over 20 more significant shots. He had the most physical, visible, biggest reaction. He did more damage, not only overall, but more damage in more rounds. He initiated majority of the exchanges and won those exchanges. And that is why Demetrious Johnson won this fight. Rounds 1, 3, 5. And I can make a case for round 2. Come at me, bro. Now, main event. All right. And still, the UFC Bantamweight champion, Mr. TJ Dillashaw. I did not get this pick. He successfully defended his belt again against Cody Garbrandt, and I think ain't no be no chapter 3. This is a more devastating win. I said in my prediction video this could go either way, that either men were capable of knocking each other out. I don't think it was a matter of patience with Cody. Now with the second loss, kind of the same thing happened. They were filling each other out. Cody actually had some positivity. He landed some shots. They got into an exchange, and TJ clipped him again, dropped him again, and this time the finish was longer. Cody was able to get up. TJ had to beat him up across against the cage. He had to get him up the cage and landed some knees. He had to beat him up and down while Cody was sliding. So this was a longer finish. The ref gave him plenty of shots, but this was a more devastating, definitive victory. 2 in a row for TJ Dillashaw. Good win for TJ Dillashaw. And again, the same thing happened when they got to the exchange. It just seemed, I don't think that Cody didn't take his time. I think that he's too loose and too wide in his pocket punching. TJ just seemed to be tighter, and maybe I didn't really see that with the first time, but having it happen again in the second time, and Joe Rogan and them pointed out, and you could really see it. So maybe it's not a patience thing. Maybe you need to tweak your style, your fighting style. You have all the potential in the world. You're young. You'll come back. But you might need to do some tweaks. You might need to tweak some stuff. Who would you like to see TJ fight? It shouldn't be Henry Cejudo. Henry called out TJ after this. Boy, please. First off, you're 1-1 with DJ. And in my opinion, you're 2-0. But even forget that, you're 1-1. And the fight that you lost was way more devastating. DJ beat you far more devastatingly than you beat him. It was a split decision. He's the most title defenses in the entire UFC. If anyone's deserved a immediate rematch, it's DJ. I understand you want to make those big money fights, and Conor's kind of, throwing a monkey wrench into the entire system, got everybody calling out everybody. But in this one situation, man, DJ deserves a rematch. Slow your roll. So, who do you think Henry Cejudo should fight next? DJ. And who do you think TJ, keeping his belt, should fight next? Let me know the injury updates. Let me know all of your picks and how you did. Let me know how you felt about that co-main event and why. Lay out your arguments like I did. I also did my little rebuttals as well. So, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, where I'll have 30 seconds recaps. Subscribe, like, talk to me, take care, and goodbye.